So we're out here with the Protege catapult glider. I'm Joshua Finn from J&H Aerospace. This is your lesson on Science Olympiad and in general catapult launched gliders. Please excuse the massive number of kittens that have foisted themselves upon us. We'll see those later. Anyway, so this is about a 3.5, 4 gram airplane. This is a little on the heavy side as flapped low ceiling gliders go. And we've got a little bit of about a 2 mile per hour breeze, which is actually enough to get this airplane kind of upset. But we're going to try to give you a few demo flights with it. I've already trimmed this airplane out, and basically the way I trimmed it is I gave it some rudder to make it turn. The rudder is actually relaxing out a little bit. I do not shim these with the little tabs like you normally do, just because it doesn't work well on these and it adds weight that you can't afford. And the other thing to notice is my wing center section has a slot back here, and that is so these flaps can flex up on launch. It gives you a straighter trajectory, and then the glider snaps into the glide, and that gives you a little bit of almost like auto surfaces there. But that also makes these quite challenging to trim because you've got to get everything balanced there. The wings do flex a little bit this way, so you can see the amount of flexure. And that becomes very difficult. So if the airplane is rolling this way and I bend this wingtip down to compensate like you would normally do, that actually has the opposite effect, because what you do is if you bend this trailing edge down here, it will push this wingtip up, which causes the leading edge to go down, and so it actually rolls even faster. So if you want to do anything like that, you want to twist the entire wing by the center section. So that tends to be a little bit challenging. This is a prototype airplane, so this is not necessarily even what the final one's going to look like, although it's fairly close. I know we're going to go to a thinner fuselage because this is an 078 carbon tube, 078 inches diameter, and it's ridiculous overkill. I mean, it's so much stiffer than what you need. But anyway, we're gonna try launching this. And so we're going to point it almost straight up here, no bank or anything. Then we see it comes up and it snaps into the glide. And you see a little bit of a stall there, and it's in not so great air, so the turn is kind of out of there. Alright, so we'll be back in a minute. I'll go get it and then explain some things. Okay, so I'm going to flex in some rudder trim here. And I'm going to mention the way this airplane is set up. You assemble each of your wing panels and sand it out. You add the tips with CA. But this is Depron, 1mm Depron, and it's not foam safe. And also CA is kind of brittle. So in a competition, yeah, it's an easy fix. You know, if I need it fixed right now. But the better way is I used foam tack, which is a little bit flexible. So I was concerned about whether it would hold on real well, but it's actually has worked very well. And since I've had every problem you can have with flapped gliders, I figure if it's working, then if it works for me, it'll work for you. And this time, we actually have our turn going, but we're in bad air. I don't know if you notice, the airplane will assume this nose level attitude some of the time, and the sink rate like right there, the sink rate drops dramatically when it finally stabilizes in that attitude. So with these airplanes, you have to trim for that, and it's a very narrow range of everything to do that. I think I'm going to add a little bit of up elevator, and that may resolve that. Alright, so I added a little bit of up elevator. On a regular glider, you would not want to do that. You would want to move the CG. But on these, they don't act quite the same. So the adjustments are sometimes a little bit different. And we see it peels off there. And now we've got some stalling because of the poor transition. There you see that really, really nice floating glide. Now let's try again, see if we can get a better transition this time. So I'm actually launching slightly inverted here. And we dove out again. You can't tell, these are pretty sensitive to launch angle. Very sensitive. Alright, so I put a little bit of opposite, basically I twisted the right wing in a little bit. See if we can hold that wing up on launch. And indeed, it worked. That's the perfect transition right there where it just literally just flops into the glide. You can see it's holding that nose high attitude as well, so it really wanted that particular adjustment. Now, alright, we're going to make one more launch here and I'm going to do this to attempt to show you something. This one doesn't do it consistently, but there's a power setting at which you have a significant change here. So hopefully I'm going to get this thing to arc over. There you go. If you notice, the airplane, I launched it backwards and it came over the top, and that's called a bunt launch. And you can use that to your advantage if you know how to make it work. I have never been able to make it work. There we go, that was 22 seconds. So, even with all the cavorting around, it'll do about 30 seconds under about a 30-foot ceiling if you adjust everything out right. We've got it flying nose heavy and so on, just to adjust for the air movement. But anyway, that bunt launch, the thing is, what you can do is you can trim the airplane if you get it right, to nose over and then fly level for a long time and then gradually bleed that speed off and then snap into the glide. And Bill Gowan is the expert on that. We'll include a link to a forum where he participates, and it'll be to one of the threads where he's shown some of his gliders, and so you can get a hold of him through that and research everything that he's written on the topic. Because I'm not the person to ask about that. I am not a highly acclaimed flapped glider flyer. Well, let's just say I've never beaten Bill, and there are a long list of people I've never beaten, so it's not really my forte, but I can make them fly halfway decently. So I'm about average, I guess. But anyway, if you have any questions, put them in the comment section below, and this when you're seeing this, it's probably going to be before this kit is available, so just stay tuned. It's not going to be available until September of 2018. We're not going to release it until, well, unless we suddenly get the rules early. But they're saying Labor Day is when they're going to release the rules. So, anyway, see y'all.